Okay, so hopefully now you've all had a go at the level 0 diagram for this sales dispatch accounts and warehousing system. To save a bit of time, I've created the processes, the internal processes here, just so you don't have to wait while I type it in them all. As we said in the lecture, what we do for our level 0 is we have exactly the same external entities and exactly the same flows to and from those external entities. The only difference is we're kind of stepping inside the business or system to see what the main processes are that are happening inside. Obviously it's nice and easy with this one because it's the name of it gives us the processes, the sales, accounts, dispatch and warehousing system, but it may actually be specific processes within a particular part of a system, for example, so you would have to decide what to call these. This one makes it nice and easy for us. So all we're doing here, I always start this, save it as your level 0 and then change it. It just saves you actually having to write all these out again because they're still going to be there. We're just moving them around to show which boxes they will actually go to. So just let me move these out of the way. Okay, what I generally do is just stick them down the middle. They don't have to go down the middle, they can go anywhere in the page. It just always makes sense to me to do that. So you could have them in a square if you wish, dotted about. It's totally up to you. I choose to do it this way just because that's the way I've already done it, and I'm a creature of habit. Okay, so let's just go through this scenario again. So a customer sends in an order to the sales department. So we can show now the specific processes, internal processes that our data flows are going to. And we will also show any internal data flows and data stores on our level 0. The customer details are checked and then authorization of credit is sought from the accounts department. Now they're saying the customer details are checked, therefore they must be checking it against something. So we will assume that here we have a data store called that stores customer details. And all we do with data stores is to show that the process uses it. Okay, so sales updates or takes information from this customer details data store. Customer details are checked, authorization of credit is sought from the accounts department. So this is a new internal data flow. So we'll call this something like request authorization. If this is given, so we will then assume, I'll just put that onto 2 lines so they fit well. So we can then assume that they will either accept or reject that authorization. Whoops. That's what I mean about the lines being a little bit, you've got to play with them a little bit to get them right. Okay, so what should we call this one? So authorization given or declined. So authorization is sought from the accounts department. If this is given, then the order is sent to the warehouse for processing. So again, another internal flow. Call that order for processing. The goods on the order are picked from the shelves and the stock on the stock file, stock levels on the stock file are adjusted. So again, it's saying there that we're adjusting a data store. So we've got another data store called stock file. And again, we're just showing that the warehouse uses that data store. Once the goods have been picked and checked, they are sent to the dispatch department. Goods for dispatch, where they are parcelled up and sent to the customer with a delivery note. Okay, so we already had this flow here, so I'll just change where this goes. Okay, it doesn't matter if we have lines crossing as we do here. As you can see, all Visio does is just do a little bump to show that this line is crossing over that one. So you don't get mixed up with whether this line is going up here, for example. So the goods are sent with a delivery note. A copy of the delivery note is sent to the accounts department. Copy of delivery note. When the accounts department receive a copy of the delivery note, they use the information on it to produce an invoice for the customer, which they send by post. And again, we already had created this one, so we'll just link that to the customer again. Oops. When the warehouse need to order more stock, they send a purchase order to the suppliers. So again, we had the purchase order here, and we're saying that it's coming from the warehouse. Let's move that one out of the way. Copies of the purchase orders are sent to the accounts department. So again, another internal flow. Copy of purchase order. Okay, I hope you're with me so far. We're on the final one now. So stock is received from the suppliers into the warehouse on a regular basis. So new stock goes into the warehouse. And it's accompanied by a goods received note. Yeah, probably could have called that new stock and GRN or something like that, but as long as we have that information. Copy of goods received note is sent to the accounts department. Another one here. So you can get a little bit fiddly moving these lines around, but you get there in the end. So this one is copy of goods received note. Sent to accounts who use them to check any invoices sent from suppliers. So that's telling us that they're sent to suppliers, the supplier invoice that we already had on there as an external data flow for payment of stock. So then we're saying that the suppliers will pay there you go, there in the end. So they're paying for that stock. So that is it. That's our completed level 0 diagram for that same scenario. So basically all we've done is take that central box, identified the main processes that are happening in there, gone through the scenario again and pulled out any additional data stores, and only additional thing on there is the flows in between these processes as well. So anything sent between these departments we've added as well. Okay, I hope that's been helpful.